What's up? And what's up, you lovely people? We're back for another video. Sorry for the little pause there and uploading, but work has been absolutely insane and we're not doing this full time, so unfortunately bills sometimes take priority over uploading videos. But anyway, we're back for another one. That's beside the point though. Today we're talking about the main differences between Premiere Pro and Davinci Resolve. I edit on both, I do videos on both. What are the differences and what do you need to know before jumping in one way or the other? Right before we jump in though, if you're new here, stumbled your way upon the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you stick around till the end. Here, we're all about filmmaking, photography, just creative stuff in general, training videos, a lot of what you'll find on my channel as well. Some idea for short films coming in the near future as well, so be sure that you stick around for that. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so that you get notified when we post new videos. Hopefully you find some of this content useful, entertaining, or you just like to stick around and talk and whatever. But either way, appreciate you. Hope you stick around. Also, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below as well, and share this video. Like I said, subscribe. Just things that can help us get it out there with the algorithm and everything, so that people see the content and we can grow the channel as well. All right, with that said, let's get started. So like I said, we're talking about Davinci Resolve versus Premiere Pro. First thing, when you're working creatively or for yourself, you know that you're gonna wear a lot of hats, right? Especially when you're first starting out, and you're gonna try to do most things yourself as well. That being said, ecosystem, especially for the apps and support, is one of the first things that you should consider, and it's very important. On one hand, you have Adobe with every possible app. There's things that go from design, illustration, drawing, iPad support, phone support, to things like video editing, visual effects, and dedicated graphics for video and everything like that. Davinci also has a pretty strong showing as well, with a whole suite of video editing and programs that have all combined into Davinci Resolve into one like all-inclusive software. You don't have to worry about jumping from one program to the other. Everything is built right in, from the audio to the editing to the visual effects, color, finishing, everything is in one suite. Downside, obviously, you don't have any photo editing capabilities, compositing for pictures, everything you need to say design your own brand, images, thumbnails, all of that stuff that comes with being an independent creator. You don't really have access to those things in Resolve. Now, that may or may not hinder you as an independent creator depending on what you choose to focus on. If you're solely focused on video content, for example, and you don't really branch out to the other things, or you're doing a lot of stuff on hire or contract work, then those other things really aren't a concern for you, but it's definitely a consideration for those that are doing those things or that have to do everything themselves. Now, obviously, there are also a lot of other free apps that you can use to take the place of things like Lightroom and Photoshop, but the ease of use of these apps and how everything's gonna work together in your workflow is definitely a consideration as well. That leads me directly into my next point, which is ease of use and convenience. I'd say both Adobe and Resolve are fairly intuitive and easy to pick up and learn. Adobe includes features like dynamic link, which will open your footage or your photos in different apps or programs for you to be able to edit in. In Premiere Pro, you can open a dynamic link to After Effects with your sequence to work on visual effects, or you can go from working in Lightroom to Photoshop so that you can further edit your pictures and then back again to finish off your edits. Resolve really is more self-contained, and doing things like visual effects work is as simple as kind of just moving over to the next tab of the program. You don't really have to learn different programs or fuss with adjusting your interface. The workspace remains virtually the same with the exception of moving some of the tools around. And things like keyboard shortcuts can be set in one program and carried through all the way within the same application. For me, Adobe really does edge out slightly here in this category because I do a lot of things myself, especially creatively right now, and having a dedicated program for everything I'm looking to do really is a great advantage for the Adobe suite and helps me achieve my vision. While I am heavily video focused, I do look to other things like Photoshop and Lightroom to create thumbnails, Illustrator and Photoshop to create branding and my own graphic design, a portion of my work as well, and also Lightroom and Photoshop for photo editing. I think if you strictly focus on video editing and video content, then Adobe has a lot of apps you'll never use, but you still pay the same price for the subscription model. So that wouldn't really make sense for you and your needs. So just having mentioned the subscription model, obviously, one of the things that we need to take into consideration, and it's a pretty big factor here, is that of price. Bottom line here is that Adobe is a monthly paid subscription and it's not cheap. As of making this video, a Creative Cloud subscription right now goes for about $59.99 a month. They always have specials running so you can find something a little bit better. And individual subscriptions from apps range anywhere from $4.99 a month on the low end all the way to like $34 a month for something like the Lightroom photo editing app. If we look at something like Resolve on the other hand, it's free with the base version, which gives you access to almost everything but locks some specific features like the more specialized effects, noise reduction, upscaling footage, and so on and so forth behind a paid studio version. The studio version is a one-time fee of $295 and free upgrades to newer versions after that. Resolve absolutely gets the edge here in terms of pricing, as it's much cheaper. It's a one-time fee that you get to pay, and you get to use it without limitations in the long run. All right, the last thing you really need to take into consideration before diving right into one of these two suites is the kind of access that you're gonna have to both training and the community out there. Now, there are a ton of Adobe users out there, and they've been around for quite some time and have managed to put out a wide variety of training resources for you to use. A quick YouTube search for whatever topic you're looking to get into or have training in typically garners hundreds or even thousands of videos sometimes that you can use as a step-by-step guide to learning what you need to learn. This has really been useful for me and really helpful, especially starting out when I'm trying to learn something new, or I have an idea for something like a visual effect, for example, and I don't know how to do it on my own or have enough time to try to figure it out from scratch. Look at the tutorials that are out there and then try to replicate it myself within the full suite of programs available to you. Now, Resolve has also been around in different versions over the years, starting out mainly as a color grading software, but through various updates, it has gained other robust capabilities like editing, audio editing, effects capabilities, compositing, visual effects, and all of that. Looking at the content that's out there right now, there are quite a few people jumping on the Resolve bandwagon, or at least have been so for the past couple of years. And while you can find more topics and trainings out there, I would say in my experience that most comprehensive stuff tends to focus around the color grading workflow of Resolve, because that's what it's most known for. Now, I'm sure that's going to expand in time, and a list of topics will continue to grow, especially with the videos and the creators that are out there, but it's something to keep in mind as you get started and you're choosing now. So to wrap up, let's talk about what's right for you. Well, it's never quite that simple, is it? For all of the access to resources and training out there, I would say that Adobe definitely has the edge here. Both Adobe apps and Resolve are particularly hard on computers, but I'd also say that Resolve really does require something extra in terms of your setup as well. Generally, Adobe apps running on your computer will take it a little bit easier on your setup than Resolve, for example, which is really resource hungry. I'd say for those of you that are solely dedicated to video, color grading, and editing, Resolve is a great free starting out option, and also is a great finishing suite for your work as well. For people that are trying to do it all, Adobe does offer more features at a cost. They are great tools though, and while there is a steep learning curve to both, I would say that more people offer in-depth trainings to Adobe apps, and there's a lot more in terms of tutorials and a wealth of knowledge out there that you can use than with Resolve. That being said, what am I sticking to? All right, well, I think for now, both. I love Resolve and everything that it has to offer, and the amazing tools that are built in and free to use as well, including some of the editing. I use it for a lot of the color grading on my videos and shorts that I do. I also use Adobe a lot for most of my editing, video effect, visual effects stuff. and even in terms of my own projects like shorts and photo editing that I'm involved in as well. I think in terms of what's right for you and your needs is really going to depend on what kind of stuff you're looking to do with your business, with your career, and a lot of that, what access you need in terms of training, resources, community, that kind of stuff is really going to determine what your answer on this particular problem is. I'd say both of them are great options, however, and whatever you're looking to do and whatever your level of expertise, you'll be able to accomplish what you want to do with both programs. I'm certainly going to keep using both. I'm going to keep doing tutorials for both, but for now, I do tend to lean more towards the Adobe apps as well. Well, that does it for this video. Like I said, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like, comment below, share this video with someone that you think could use it, or if this video helped you, let me know how it helped you. And until next time, make sure you go out there and create something. La vida.